Today we actually do have, we're not just going to be doing this the whole time. We actually do have something to talk about today.
That's true. That's true.
So the reason why Wes kind of got benched today is he's taking notes, first of all, and secondly,
Yes.
me and Mike we kind of talk about this a lot personally, so we just kind of figured why not just make it into an episode.
Yeah, and in case you can't tell by our shirts that I bought 2 hours ago, we're
And
big DC
this
fans.
is definitely not Wes's shirt that he gave me just
Definitely
now.
not. Definitely didn't get this from Kohl's 2 hours ago.
This is definitely not my hat that I got when I was 13 years old or something.
I'm surprised it still fits your big ass forehead.
Facts, Loki.
It's crazy. Anyway,
It's on the last two beads of the snapback, bro.
that shit is on its last leg, brother. Give it a rest.
Fucking holding on for dear life
Let that
back
shit
there,
go,
bro.
It has done its time, bro.
If it explodes off my head like a fucking spring at some point in this video. yeah. Anyway.
Jinx.
Bro, this is gonna be such a long
We're
video.
fucked already, bro. We're
Okay,
fucked.
anyway. Today we're talking about DC.
I like DC.
Yeah, we both do, which is why we're both talking about it today.
Right. Yes.
So, more specifically, though, we're talking about James Gunn's new DC. How do you say his fucking name? Did you look it up?
James Gunn.
No, stupid. The guy who's playing Superman.
David Cronin Sweat.
Is that actually how you say his name? Did you look it up?
I said it confidently, so they're gonna believe that it's correct.
We're not cutting that out.
David Cronin Sweat. It's CRONSWET.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the new Superman. I'm not saying that name.
Just say Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Shout out Dave.
So the pictures of Dave as Superman just got released by James Gunn
Yes.
a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
So that kind of got us talking about DC and
Yes.
everything that's coming up with it. And a while back, like last summer, James Gunn released the entire slate of what's going to be happening for his new DC universe. So we're going to talk about DC today. We're going to talk about old DC.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Zack Snyder's DC, and then we're going to talk about the DCU.
Yeah.
The new one, James Gunn's DCU.
I think,
And for further just for further clarification, so that no one's confused listening to this episode, when we say the DCEU, that's everything that was under control from Zack Snyder, because that's the DC extended universe.
Right.
So that was everything from Man of Steel to Justice League. That was and a couple stragglers, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And then James Gunn's DCU is pretty self-explanatory, but we're just going to cut it down to DCU.
Yeah.
If we mix it up, sorry, it's confusing.
Yeah, it is.
This
There's a lot of
sucks.
letters.
This sucks. It's confusing.
Yeah.
But we're gonna.
But I really do want to touch on Zack Snyder's DCEU.
Yeah, we're
first,
gonna get right
that
into this.
shit failed miserably, and I am of the opinion that Zack Snyder should be public enemy number one in at least 48 states. I really do think that should be the case. I despise Zack Snyder, and a lot of DC fans feel very strongly one way or the other. There's not a lot of middle ground with Zack Snyder.
No.
It is he is the greatest filmmaker to ever exist, or he is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably 90% on that right side.
Right.
Which is the right side of history, and we will realize this as a society in about 5 years. But I think that the way he did the DCEU, first of all, just from a structure standpoint, it was such a desperate attempt to catch up to Marvel. Like, it was Marvel had already gotten things going, they got the ball rolling. I think they had like 6 or 7 movies out by the time Man of Steel even came out.
Here, but I'm gonna interject already for this. Well, I'm not arguing. I'm adding on to your. I don't like his direction. I didn't like the way that he took it, and I think that things could have been changed. But
Correct.
At the same time, from Man of Steel to from Man of Steel to BVS. And that was the next movie over. I mean,
BVS?
I guess whatever. Yeah.
BVS, yeah.
He literally, the studio gave him 2 movies to put together the Justice League.
Which is insane.
That is insane.
Well, there's a lot of studio
So
interference.
in his defense,
Fair.
for that,
I'll give him some slack. I'll give him
Okay.
like 5%
Yes.
slack. Reduce his jail sentence to only 50 years and life. But no, so.
but then we get into the weeds of it and his creative decisions that he made,
creative decisions.
and that's when I have the issues.
And
but
let's start off hot, Jacoby. I don't like Man of Steel.
Yeah, this one. So we've always
I don't
disagreed
like Man
about
of
this.
Steel.
I don't love Man of Steel, but here's the thing. I didn't grow up with fucking Christopher Reeves because I'm not 80 years old.
Right.
So
This is our Superman.
Yes.
He's our Superman.
Henry Cavill's the best Superman.
And I will be very forward.
Hands fucking down.
I will be very forward and say I have no problem with Henry Cavill. Cavill? Is it Cavill or Cavill?
I just say Cavill. It's probably Cavill, but I say Cavill.
Shout out Henry C. Right, holding it down. But I don't have issue with him as Superman. I don't think that's a bad casting. I don't think he was a bad performance. That's not my issue. My issue with Man of Steel is the tone.
Yeah.
Is the actions. I thought Zod was actually pretty fun.
Zod's dope as fuck.
I don't love that Superman snapped his neck. Now, I'm not going to be like, this ruins the movie because Superman doesn't have as hard of a no-kill rule as like Batman, Spider-Man. I get it. But it's way too dark. Lois Lane is terrible. Amy Adams, terrible.
Yeah.
Like, not even...
I would, okay, she wasn't the worst that we've ever gotten.
She was the worst Lois Lane we've gotten in a very long time.
I think that she was miscast.
Also,
I think
the stupid Dutch angles that Zack Synder would use for the penis rocket ships that they had going, it's just stupid. It was just so stupid.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah.
There's just so much, like, the scene where, and I've talked to him about this, I hate this scene where he's in the diner and that guy, the trucker guy that's being an asshole, and he walks out and Superman has his car, like, hanging by, like, the electrical wires. Superman is not that mean. He would not do that. Superman would, like, intimidate him, yes, but he wouldn't fucking like take his car up by a string. Like, I don't know. That's not Superman. It didn't feel like Superman. It felt like out of place. The tone was all wrong. I did not like Man of Steel.
Here's the thing. So there's scenes like that where, like, obviously this version of Superman, it's an origin story, right?
Yes.
We get to see Kal-El. You know, the movie opens on Krypton. We get to see, you know, Russell Crowe, frickin' Jor-El,
which is so crazy.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think
it wasn't bad.
The Krypton sequence is a bit long. It overstayed its welcome a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
But
yes. Although
cool.
the whole first episode of the animated series is on Krypton.
Which when
the
you have an
whole
animated
first
series
episode,
and you have more, you know, to play with, you can do that. But like in a 2-hour 20 movie or whatever it is, you spend the first 15 minutes on Krypton. Whatever. So I just don't love Man of Steel.
But hold on. So yeah. So it's an origin story. We get to see Kal-El come to Earth, and he's discovering all of his powers for the first time, or whatever. We're honestly probably going to spend the most time on the first 2 movies because they're just we feel the most strong about those. Yeah. But however, you know, I think that scene. I feel like that scene is important. Him wrapping his truck around the telephone pole. It's important, and I'll tell you why. Superman, before he became Superman, is just a guy who grew up on Earth just like us, and all of a sudden, as he was growing up, realized that he can't be killed by anything on Earth. Yeah, he's literally a god. And he is struggling between, I could fucking rip this dude's spine out of his body in a second if I wanted to. I could, right? But he chooses not to, and that's the whole point. What I'm getting at with this is that I think that scene is important. However, I think that they should have added to it by showing us that he feels bad about doing what he did.
Yeah.
Like if that scene would have cut, because in the movie it goes from that scene to Kal-El hitchhiking.
Yeah.
Clark hitchhiking to wherever. If in that point before we get to him hitchhiking, like, there should have been a moment where he visibly is upset about his actions.
Right. He abused his power, and he knows.
Yeah, and he knows it, and he shouldn't have done that, and that was a stupid thing to do, and that is what Superman would have done, and that's how I think they should have played it, but they didn't do that. Yeah, and instead, you just get the anger of it, and you're like, okay.
Oh, okay.
But
good job, Superman.
But out of that one example, and him killing Zod, okay, whatever. Which at the end, I actually think that's justified. I think it's totally fine. However,
I don't love it, but I can see the argument.
However, there are plenty of moments in that entire movie that show the core aspect of Superman. The school bus scene. Yeah. The school bus scene is an amazing scene. The scene where he saves the fighter pilot, where he jumps on whatever right. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but my point is that
ago, bro.
Yeah, dude, this is
fucking old.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
you're old.
Yeah, you're old as fuck.
Yeah, we don't got our AARP membership yet, bro. You good? My fault. Hey, you've got a few more coming to you this week, Wes. I'm pissed off. Anyways, well, again, there's obviously good things and bad things about Man of Steel. I think, and I believe this way about like Spider-Man and Superman. It shouldn't be hard to make a good Superman movie. It really shouldn't. And when you fuck up this badly, it really pisses me off.
Here's my thing. Me and Mike feel differently about superhero movies sometimes because of the way that we view them. And we had this conversation earlier, and I kind of made this analogy, but there was a Twitter post. I'm kind of active on Twitter, and I saw something that someone had said something
Shameless
about
plug,
a
by
Batman. I didn't even say my Twitter, but
Here.
yeah, but there was a post that someone had said about like who did the best Batman movie, explain why, and like be honest. And you have to look at these movies from a sense of, okay, this is a one person's take on this one character the way that they see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I look at a movie, like when I look at The Batman, or when I look at The Dark Knight, or when I look at Man of Steel versus Superman Returns, or the Superman trilogy from the 70s and the 80s. When I look at those, I don't see them as this is the definitive version of Superman that we are getting at the time, because it's not. Because in almost all those time periods, there's all sorts of other things that were going on for the characters, right? Mm-hmm. You have to look at movies, especially about comic book characters. You have to look at them almost like stories from a comic book. Stories like, for example, right? There's Superman. There's All-Star Superman.
That's what we call an illusion.
There's
Shut up, Wes.
foreshadowing.
Alluding.
There's All-Star Superman. There's Kingdom Come Superman.
True.
And then there's Red Sun Superman.
Very true.
All very different takes on the characters,
like
but they are three of the best Superman comic books ever written. There's for Batman, there's Hush, there's The Killing Joke, The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of shit. You can't take one version of it and go, it's bad because it's not Superman, because it is. It's just a different version of Superman, probably than what people were expecting.
Now you can apply that to Man of Steel, and I would agree, like, that is a good argument. What you can't apply that for is Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is true in the sense of different eras provide different core aspects of Superman, and they highlight different things, whatever. When you take a character's core aspects and pour it out like a glass of water and then poop on it and light it on fire, that's essentially what Zack Snyder did with.
Let me get my gripes out with Batman vs Superman, because this one pisses me off, bro. So if you can't tell, this is not a wardrobe thing. I love Batman. Batman is hands down my all-time favorite character. I literally am a Batman walking encyclopedia.
Oh, God. No,
all of the comic books in my house, damn near like 90% of my comic books that I have are Batman comics.
Yeah.
So back when this movie came out, I enjoyed it because it was Batman. We were kids. I was whatever. As you get older though, and you start to realize the things are like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why would he do that? Right.
That's a little odd.
So Zack Snyder is a very big Frank Miller fan. Okay. Zack Snyder. Wes, can you look up who did the Sin City movie? Who directed that movie? Because Zack Snyder also did Watchmen,
yes,
which is a great movie. Watchmen is great. Yes. The Sin City live action with Bruce Willis. Directed it? Okay. Well,
the guy who did Spy Kids? That's an elite pull right there.
That's dope. That's actually dope. Frank Miller did his own comic book. That's sick. So Zack Snyder did Watchmen.
Yes.
Zack Snyder did 300, which I think I heard somewhere around the line was like a Frank Miller story or something.
Did you do Gladiator?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Anyway, my point is that he loves Frank Miller. So if you don't know, Frank Miller is also one of the most famously known Batman authors of all time, because he did The Dark Knight Returns, which is the movie that everybody fucking reads, and they take that one movie and they go, oh, this is Batman, and it's fucking not. And I'm going to get this out of the way right fucking now, because this is going to piss me off when we get later down the line. The Dark Knight Returns is not the only fucking Batman story. As a matter of fact, that Batman story reinvented the character for the time, and it was for a reason, okay? Yeah. When Batman The Dark Knight Returns came out in 1985, Batman was on the cusp of completely changing his character, okay? We are now coming out of the era with fucking Adam West and the campy bullshit from the fucking 60s and the 70s, and now we're finally getting into some dark, serious shit. This is around the time when Jason Todd fucking gets killed by the Joker, and Dick Grayson leaves and becomes Nightwing, and all this crazy shit's happening with Batman.
Batman.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is also around the time when Batman is starting to do crazy things himself as a character, because usually it was the sidekicks doing crazy shit. Dude, in the 80s, in the early 80s, Batman got addicted to a venom drug from Bane. There's a whole story about it. He killed the KG Beast, and that fucks him up for years.
Yeah.
So Frank Miller took Batman and goes, okay, well, I'm tired of the campy bullshit. I want to do something different. I want to do something darker. Let's do the Dark Knight Returns, and let's do it where it's set years in the future, where he's old, he's kind of retired, but now he's coming back in, whatever. I'm not going to harp on this for too long, but a little bit longer. Just give me a minute. I promise this gets back around.
Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, fuck off. So Frank Miller did the Dark Knight Returns, and in this time, after that book came out, yes, it's an amazing book. If you haven't read it, please read it. It's great. It's so good. But guess what, Hollywood? That's not the only fucking Batman comic.
And
because
your first Batman movie.
You know what also came out in the 80s? Batman the Killing Joke.
Hey.
One of the greatest Batman stories of all time. You know what else came out in the fucking 80s? Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Hill.
Yeah.
Which is, I know you don't know what that is, it's kind of a deep pull. A great fucking book.
Fuck me, I guess.
Do you know what it is?
No, but you didn't have to say that, bro. Why fuck me, dude? I know you don't know what that is, dumbass.
My point being is that a lot of directors, like, okay, Tim Burton took inspiration from The Dark Knight Returns because that was the most recent comic of the time, right?
Massive,
1985 to 1989, okay?
Yeah.
He took that comic because that was the most popular comic at the time for Batman, right?
Yes.
So obviously he's going to take that and use it. But did he take the entire story and the concept of it fucking verbatim and put it into a movie?
Yeah,
no, he didn't.
No.
Not at all.
No.
And that's what pisses me off about Batman versus Superman, because Batman versus Superman is literally the Dark Knight Returns live action, but he literally missed the point of the entire book. Like, I don't understand how you could read that whole book and not understand what the point was. I don't get it.
The point is, essentially, Superman becomes like a tool for the government.
That's not even. That's
like part of the story.
Yes, but that's not even like Superman. Damn near has nothing to do with the story. Not until the very end of the book.
But that's what Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
was
Zack Snyder took
Superman.
that part of it and
Superman.
whatever. But the part with Batman is that yes, Batman retires from being Batman. He retires.
Yeah.
And in his absence, the whole city of Gotham becomes overrun with crime worse than it ever has been. There's a new gang called the Mutants, and they're fucking corrupt, and they're killing people. They're killing people in the middle of the streets, and Batman almost gets mugged, and then the guys realize that he was fucking, yeah. So then he's reminded about his parents, and he goes back home, and it's eating him up inside, and he becomes Batman again, and he takes back the mantle, and he starts, because it's been so long, he's reckless. He's angry again. It's like Batman Year One, which Frank Miller also wrote, which is another one that's really fucking good that he could have used.
Here's my thing, and I said this to Jacob. Well, we said this to each other for years, and it was so picture perfect because it got proven to us verbatim. We said for years, Zack Snyder does not understand Batman.
No.
Zack Snyder does not know how to write Batman. Zack Snyder does not know what to put in a Batman movie. And we said this for years. And amongst the Snyder cultists, they said, no, he gets Batman. And literally, what was it, 3 months ago? He went on a podcast with Joe Rogan.
Not even.
And was talking about Batman not killing is unrealistic, and why are you protecting your god? What the fuck are you talking about?
Zack Snyder sees Batman as like a Punisher, Moon Knight type character. Somebody who has no remorse for who he's fighting and just kills for whatever reason.
I would argue the number one quality of Batman is his concern for human life.
There's a scene in The Dark Knight Returns in the book where Batman stumbles upon a little like a baby being taken hostage by the mutant gang.
Yeah.
And this is the scene where he busts through the wall and he takes the guy through the wall, and then he's the guy who has the gun, he's got it in his hand. And again, Zack Snyder took this scene from the movie, or put it in the movie, but he completely missed the fucking point.
Yes.
The guy who's holding the kid hostage goes, "I'll kill her, I'll do it, believe me, I'll do it." Mm-hmm. And Batman says, "I believe you." and thinking that it was the best way that he could possibly save the child, he kills the man who's holding that child hostage. Now, in the movie, it's played off as a cool action beat.
Oopsies.
In the book, it fucks Batman up so bad that he almost retires as Batman again.
Yes.
Because that's what the character is about. He doesn't fucking kill. There's a whole point to this. And that's the whole reason why Batman is so appealing, because Batman could kill. But guess what, Zach? If he did kill, he'd be just as fucking boring as every other fucking character in comic books. But that's not what he is.
What makes him good.
That's not why Batman can have 1,000 different reboots every year and still become one of the highest grossing film franchises of all time. Even though they make fucking new trilogies every fucking other year.
True.
And recast him all the time and all this other shit. Like, there's a reason for that. And it's not because he kills.
This is a very long-winded way for both of us to say that Zack Snyder does not understand Batman. And his fundamental misunderstanding of Batman has led to some really poor quality DC content.
Yes.
Now, talking from just a movie perspective, the acting is terrible. Jesse Eisenberg is playing the Riddler. Again, he just doesn't understand DC characters. He's playing the Riddler.
But, okay, if Jesse Eisenberg was playing the Riddler, he would have killed it. He actually would have nailed it.
Yeah, but they casted him as Lex fucking Luthor.
I know. But
I liked Elastigirl in the movie.
I just don't like knocking actors when they were just given a script.
No,
and they were
I'm knocking the way that they represented characters. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking the way that they personally performed. I'm knocking the way they were written to represent characters.
Fair.
Which is terrible.
Fair. Like, the one that I like to give is like the infamous Green Lantern movie, right? Like, Ryan Reynolds back in the day would have been a good Hal Jordan.
He would have.
But it's the writing and the special effects in that movie and everything.
I call it the Andrew Garfield treatment. Good actor,
yes. Bad
director, bad writer, bad etc.
Okay.
So Batman vs Superman is terrible.
Well, we're not going to get into Spider-Man today, but anyway. But yeah, so we need to
cut this shit right now, Wes. I got no.
So yeah,
BVS sucks. And again, that was their answer to Civil War. That was their origin story.
Right, yes,
for the
because
Justice
at the same
League.
time, the Civil War movie was coming out, and it fucking blew up because that movie's amazing.
It is. That's how you do it right.
And so they were like, "Oh, we got to do something quick." But that's the thing, is that if you would have just taken your time with it, the DCEU could have been successful, and it probably still could have been going to this day.
The DCEU,
but they fucked it up from the jump.
I would argue that DC's, and I've said this before, DC got better characters than Marvel. I think it's a better IP.
Yes, absolutely.
The one huge benefit
that
DC has never been able to take full advantage of is they own all their fucking characters.
Yeah.
Marvel hasn't had, the MCU hasn't had the X-Men and the Fantastic Four
and
for like 15 years. They still ran laps around DC.
Yeah, dude.
Arguably their two biggest superhero.
You know what's crazy? Not on topic at all, but the Avengers were like a fucking D tier.
D tier superhero team, yes.
Like, you had like, back in the day in Marvel, before the Avengers movies came out, it was X-Men, Fantastic Four, fucking everybody else.
Yeah.
X-Force, like the X-Men. I mean,
exactly.
The X-Men were like that, right? But then no one gave a fuck about the Avengers. Like, the Avengers were assholes.
Oh, and then all of a sudden Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans they're pretty good. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we forgot about all those terrible Fantastic Four movies.
So,
but next one won't be bad. Anyways. The first two, way to start off, it's like starting off a game 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts, right? You hit your face.
Yeah.
And then they followed up with Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's amazing.
Good. Now, Wonder Woman is not
amazing.
It's produced, but it is not directed or written by Zack Snyder. It's directed and written by Patty Jenkins, who I think did a really good job.
Killed it in this movie. She killed it.
Yeah.
We'll loop back around to this. We'll loop back to this.
I don't think we need to spend as much time talking about Wonder Woman. It's just a good.
It's just
movie.
great. It's great. There's nothing really to talk about. Like, it's a good period piece. It's a good movie. It's a good war movie. A really good war movie.
It is.
If you like war movies, like, great. Yeah. The whole end scene with Ares is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Where he's like forging his armor out of fire. Like, dude.
I will say Gal Gadot is not the greatest actress I've ever seen.
We don't.
However, she does, and I mean this. She represents Wonder Woman well.
She's got
the Wonder Woman.
She got the most, like, she was. How do I? She represented a lot of what Wonder Woman is as a character.
Yes,
and she brought that to the screen, and that's great.
Yes.
Do I think she's an amazing actor? No, not at all. But still,
we did miss one though. We got to talk about. That is another really bad one.
Oh yeah.
I think it came out a year before.
Can we say this on YouTube? Can we say the movie title? We can say the movie title on YouTube, right? Because they just crack down on their rules and shit.
The Pew Pew Squad.
The Sewer Slide Squad.
The Sewer Slide Squad. Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So this movie pissed me off when it came out. Now. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why this movie pisses me off. One, we're gonna get into the director. Listen, for everybody that doesn't know, David Ayer is one of the greatest fucking directors and writers of all time. Self-made man.
That's a bold claim.
He's fucking amazing. That's because you haven't seen any of his other movies.
Again, fuck me, bro. What the fuck?
Have you seen any of his other movies?
What is it? What else does he make?
Bro,
What else
his first movie that he ever made was Training Day.
No, what else movies? What other movies he make?
He's done Fury. He did Cop movie. The Cop movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Victor Pena. Oh my God! End of watch. End of watch.
Okay, I haven't seen any David Ayer movies.
Listen, David Ayer is a fantastic director. He's a fantastic writer. He's amazing. I love him to death. He's one of my biggest inspirations as a filmmaker. I love him. Mm-hmm. This was all studio interference.
Yeah, it was.
Because there is a cut. What? Yes, I forgot about that.
Okay, then I have seen his movie.
Okay,
There we go.
yes, okay. Really quick. When he first was starting out, dude, he was homeless for okay.
Okay,
Go watch
badass.
John Bernthal did his podcast Real Ones. He did a whole episode with David Ayer because John Bernthal was in Fury, and David Ayer talks about his life and how he became a director and all this shit, dude. It's fucking inspiring.
That's badass.
It's so cool. So anyway, David Ayer gets brought on to do Suicide Squad. Oh shit. He gets brought on to do Task Force X.
That's what we should have said to begin with.
Yeah. And it was this dark, very gritty movie that was really intense and all this shit, right? Well, around the same time, Guardians and Deadpool came out.
Yeah.
And the studio was like, "Oh, people really like family-friendly comedy movies." Not that Deadpool's family-friendly, but Guardians was a big inspiration.
They like goofy shit in superhero movies. Yeah.
Right. So the studio was like, we're going to put more of that in, but we're not going to tell David Ayer about it. So David Ayer filmed the entire movie. Yeah. He did his whole version of it. There was a lot more with Batman in it. There was a lot more with the Joker, which we don't need more of that, but still.
That might have been the best thing they ever did, actually.
Right.
So all that
But
shit.
There was a lot more stuff about Harley Quinn. There was a lot more stuff about Deadshot. There was a lot more stuff about Killer Croc, Enchantress, Rick Flag, all this stuff.
And you can tell watching the movies, all those little flashbacks they do. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck?
There's just chunks of the story missing, that don't exist.
And I saw a good breakdown of this one time, and I actually believe this. There's a conspiracy theory going on that you know the scene after they when the whole Suicide Squad is together and they're on that building and Joker grabs Harley Quinn.
Yes, I've seen.
So there's a theory that in the original version of the film, Harley Quinn goes up with the Joker breaks up with her and dumps her.
Yeah.
Instead of her thinking that he died. And if you watch the way she reacts, she's upset. She's not, or she's depressed. She's not grieving. She's sad, she got broken up with. Yeah. Not that her boyfriend died. Yeah. Because those are wildly two different types of sadness.
I mean, listen, we're not even going to really harp on the Jared Leto Joker because what are we going to say that 1,000 people haven't already said he's fucking terrible?
No,
that was the worst. That was the worst fucking performance I've ever seen in my entire life. Even as a kid, when I liked everything,
yeah, even I was
fucking hated that. We left the theater and I saw it with my mom and my dad, and my mom was like, "Oh, did you like the Joker? Did you like it?" And I was like, "No."
That was weird.
Harley Quinn was amazing. Deadshot's fucking great.
The scene in the beginning where he's trying to have Harley Quinn, give her to another guy. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and she's playing a stripper and shit. What? And all right, Wes.
Thank you, Wes.
Thanks.
That's getting sent to Mackenzie right now. I actually have been recording. That's actually watching it right now.
We're live.
We are live. And our studio audience, right over here.
She kicks the fucking door.
Yeah.
The fuck did you just say?
You know, the Jerry Springer show, they have that back.
Yeah.
It's just charging down the hallway. But
yeah. So anyway, that's the Suicide Squad was just okay.
I think that's a good.
It had potential, and David Ayer says that the cut of the movie that he did is really good, and he feels like he's very happy with it, and he just every person that he's shown that he has a copy of it, and he says that like he'll bring friends over, and when people ask him about it, he'll show them his cut of it, and people will be like, this pisses me off. This is like what we wanted, and this isn't what we got.
Guys, trust me, my version was really good.
I know. 100% listen. I'm telling you, it's because you haven't watched his movies.
No, I know. I know what you're saying.
And okay, Fast and Furious isn't his movie. Yes, he wrote it. Like he had an influence on it, but like Training Day is his movie.
Was he the guy that wrote I Said Forget About It, Cuh?
No, that's
F2.
That's F2.
Oh, I was like, I would give him Director of the Century if he did that shit. That was iconic.
No.
I love that shit.
But like for example, Fast and Furious, right? Fast and Furious was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be a movie that took place in L.A. It was supposed to take place in New York, and it was all supposed to be like Italian mafia guys. And
Surprised you didn't say something. Gabagoo. Shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the hell up. Now I'm pissed off. You got to throw race into every episode, bro.
Literally. I don't think there's been one episode
on planet Earth, and you still got to bring me into this shit, bro.
I want to bring this, and I want to talk about this because, yes, were the movies bad, and did it fail? Yes. Everyone fucking knows that, obviously. But you have to talk about the things that happen behind the scenes, because if you don't, then no one's going to know about it, and all the work that got put into it, all the things that everyone did, and the fucking horrible decisions made by the studio, all that shit's going to get swept under the rug, and no one's going to know the real story. So you have to talk about it as much as you can. So yes, it's a side tangent, and I want to continue with the movies, and I apologize for going on so many long tangents, but we have to talk about it.
No, it's okay. One thing I want to say, and I want to just wrap up the segment really
quick.
Yeah. Speaking of dumbass decisions behind the scene, why the hell was Ezra Miller still allowed to do a Flash movie?
Oh, God.
And, like, again, everybody knows it's terrible. It's still a fresh wound. I'm not going to, like, pour salt on it. What the fuck are we thinking?
Yeah,
and it was a bad movie to begin with. Just the studio interference is one of the reasons the DCU failed.
How do you listen?
Zack Synder being an idiot.
How do you fuck up a Flash movie, bro?
Especially Flash.
Yeah.
With no reverse Flash, bro. What the?
There's no reverse Flash. There's. Yeah, they threw in Michael Keaton's
George
Batman.
Clooney, what are you doing tomorrow night, bro?
Like,
I got a movie for you,
dude. It is, and another fucking great director that got thrown.
Yeah, Andy Muschietti.
Andy Muschietti, dude, the fucking guy that did the It movies.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Are you shitting me? Are you telling me that guy couldn't have directed the best fucking villain of all time with the Reverse Flash?
Listen,
the Reverse Flash is terrifying.
Get on the phone. Anthony Starr, I need you in Toronto next week.
Oh my God, dude!
I need you to record for 2 weeks. I need you to hear your best. It was me, Barry. You know what did you?
He would have killed it.
Nobody got that joke. Okay.
No, I got it. I'm just not laughing at it because fuck you. I want to hear about the DCEU and why it failed, because we haven't even talked about Black Adam.
I can't. Do we have to? Wes is wearing a black. Do we have to?
Yes.
The hierarchy of the DC universe.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why we have to talk about Black Adam, Mike?
Are the dogs out, Wes? Are they in frame? Sure. Okay, I'll do this then. I'm just kidding.
Do you want to know why we have to talk about Black Adam? Because Black Adam was in production to close to 20 fucking years, and it was one of the worst superhero movies ever made. I don't even know how you do that.
I think the last person to fuck up for 20 years was Jacoby. Like, you know how bad you got to be to do that?
That was just mean. That wasn't even funny.
That was funny. That was funny.
This is why you stay behind the camera.
You dead ass just said I did nothing. Like, I fucked up my whole life.
No, you didn't fuck up your whole life because you met us.
Don't fucking touch me. Get the fuck away from me, bro.
Right, come back on your Black Adam, right, bro. Anyways, bro, Black Adam. What I love about Black Adam is it's just an ego off with Dwayne Johnson.
Or like, as we like to call it, Wes Adam. Hey, bro, cut that out.
Combo. No, but I love how it was just The Rock being like, I'm going to be Black Adam.
I'm going to save your universe.
And you're going to like it. And DC was just so desperate. They're like, sure. And then they're like, well, what about Shazam? No, fuck Shazam. We're not doing him.
I'm the hero.
I am the hero.
I'm the hero.
And you know what? Just for fuck's sake, Henry Cavill put your cape back on, bro.
Yeah.
We're running this shit back.
Yeah, we're gonna put you in an end credit scene and then get your hopes up, and then the next day fire you.
Dude, I love, like,
insane.
Wes is gonna appreciate what I'm about to say. Wes, jeez Louise. The Rock was a WWE wrestler. He's all about promotion and shit, bro. You know he was salivating at the mouth thinking about the fucking the fight card between him and Henry Cavill, and him just and Henry Cavill like with his fist up, like
I know, and yes, and man, like physically he's perfect to play Black Adam.
Correct.
Physically he is, right? However, this is what I fucking hate about Dwayne Johnson did. Like, okay, in every movie that he's in,
he can't lose.
He can't lose. He has to be a semi good guy. He has to be badass. He can't look weak in any moment.
Yeah.
And he always has to talk the way The Rock talks. Black Adam is from the fucking Middle East.
He's from Kahndaq.
He's from Kahndaq.
Yeah, come on.
He doesn't talk like he's from fucking... Where's he from? Like, where did he grow up?
The Rock?
Yeah.
He's from...
I know he's Samoan, but like, where did he grow up?
He probably grew up in Miami. He grew up in Florida.
Prime fucking example.
Yes.
He doesn't talk like somebody from Florida. He's the king of Kahndaq.
Yeah.
He's been alive for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would he talk like a fucking American? Another thing that, like, he did the same thing in that movie Jungle Cruise, which is a horrible movie. But, like, Jungle Cruise, that character is a Spanish inquisitor, like a Spanish, like, conquistador, who then goes to Brazil, and he's like, I'm gonna save the day. Bro, throw an accent over that shit. Actually do some character acting.
The Rock just said, I have biceps and I have a good jawline. That's what you get.
Now, I can't appreciate some cool scenes because
The action was pretty good.
the action was
Other
pretty
than
good.
the scene where he's flying and it's just his head
The
with
scene-
the fucking eyebrows sticking out.
But the scene when he wakes up
Yeah.
and he's just tearing through that room of guys
that is
and
cool.
he like picks up that dude and melts him. That's hard as fuck.
pretty nice.
It's
I'm
cool.
not gonna lie.
It's cool. It was cool. Dr. Fate was cool.
Pierce Bronson was great. Yes.
The guy that we both swore to God was Denzel's kid, but it's not, who played Hawkman.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the whole time in that movie
No,
we were
dude,
like,
no.
no, it's not like.
No,
why do you gotta make shit like?
I ain't
asshole,
saying
dude?
nothing, bro.
Fuck.
Damn. No,
Because he looks and talks like Denzel
you
Washington.
know who I
like,
hate?
100%.
You know who I hate? Hey, man, we got...
I thought that was Denzel's. Like, I genuinely did.
You know who I hate, though? And I call him Netflix Original Man, is Noah Centineo, or whatever his name is. I call him Netflix Original Man, because every time I go on Netflix, he's in a new, like, shitty rom-com movie. And
Who's
the Adam.
Oh, Adam Smasher?
Yeah, Adam Smasher, yeah. And I literally call him Netflix Original Man. And I just, every time, when I saw he was in the movie, I was like, bro.
Well, just like throwing the JSA in for what?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, why?
You don't need to do that.
I mean,
Because
like-
he needed to look better than the JSA.
But again,
Because they couldn't beat
if
him.
you want to do a Shazam movie, why not just? Or if you want to do Black Adam, why not just put Shazam in the movie?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Because he couldn't. Because Shazam would have to win, and he can't
But-
have that.
Again, if you just have any sense of a creative input on anything, you could have just thrown together a really quick, like, dude. This is what pisses me really off about the DCEU as a whole. They had the best blueprint.
Yeah.
They had everything they needed.
Yeah.
And you know what it's called? Bruce Timm's DCAU.
Come on now. Come on now. We could
That
call
was
different
that
ways.
was the Bible of DC. If you wanted to take anything from whatever you wanted, bro,
Yeah.
call up Bruce Timm. He's got you.
Yeah, you do.
He could have thrown together a fucking Black Adam movie. Did he do that short animated movie? You know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah,
Superman Shazam crossover movie where they're fighting Black Adam and
I have no idea.
Metropolis.
Bruce Timm
Bruce Timm.
with 2 M's with.
Yes.
Tell
Bro,
me
don't
if
fucking don't do that.
Yeah, you gonna make
Listen,
jump over
don't
my
do
couch
that.
that doesn't fight
Don't
you.
fucking do that.
No, what would have happened though? They would have called Bruce Timm. He would have said, "Do this, yeah, great."
And they would have done
And then
it.
The Rock would have been like, "No, that's cool and everything."
It doesn't matter what your name is. He's like,
Shut up, bitch. Yeah, shut up, bitch.
To Bruce Timm. Yeah, that'd have been great, dude. But no, I think with all the shit of the DCEU,
the DCEU sucked. Yeah. Ha! See? Bro, and that's infinitely better.
I ain't down you.
That's
I wasn't down you.
infinitely fucking
I
better.
was not down you. But I think it's time now.
Yeah.
We talked about how shit the DCEU
Also,
was.
quick speed run. Okay, the first.
Let's do thumbs up. Give me a movie. I'll go thumbs up, thumbs up.
Okay. Man of Steel.
Eh.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. For that's for both of us.
Yeah.
BVS. Wonder Woman. Ding. Suicide Squad. Yep. What was after Suicide Squad?
The other Suicide Squad.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah.
Wonder
James
Woman
Gunn's
1984.
bad. Horrible.
Oh, Aquaman.
Great.
Aquaman
Shazam.
Aquaman 2. Wonder Woman 2.
We already said that.
There's one more missing.
Blue Beetle.
Oh my God. Harley Quinn.
Oh my fucking
Prey.
god.
Birds of Prey.
Holy shit.
There's what?
No, I said Birds of Prey.
Yeah, Birds of Prey.
I didn't see Blue Beetle.
No bueno.
Black Adam. James Gunn's DCU. Now, I do want to go through the entire list, so you
You
kind
gonna
of
read the script I made? This might be the first time I think this has happened. This might be the first. This is an historic accomplishment right here. Anyways, I'll talk while he looks. So, when the DCEU completely fell apart,
did
they were
it.
looking for new leadership. They were looking
okay.
for their answer to Kevin Feige. They were looking for their leader, the guy who can structure and build the whole universe to have a cohesive cinematic universe. Because I'm of the belief that the cinematic universe would work amazingly in DCU, but you need a structured plan. You need people that give a shit about the characters, and they don't have Batman killing
And
people.
again, we've already had a structured DC universe for a whole generation of
I'm talking about
kids.
live action structure.
I get it.
Yeah.
But we've already had it. And they did an amazing job, but it was just with a much lower budget and all this
Yeah.
fucking bullshit, right? And it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
There's no reason it can't work. Marvel did it. DC.
And
better.
again, DC, this is just a fact. Like, DC just has better characters.
Point blank. Period.
Like, the MCU inspired a whole new version of the Marvel characters. Before the MCU, Marvel was... Before the MCU, before the MCU, Marvel had the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not the worst shit ever fucking concocted.
Yeah, that was.
Where
bad.
Peter Parker cheats on his girlfriend. Logan
Real
has
shit.
like Wolverine's like a pedophile.
Yeah.
The Blob eats people. Magneto just kills everybody.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That was pre-MCU. And then the MCU came out and it changed everything. Anyway, not talking about Marvel. But